you're the leaders. The power is not up north somewhere. The power is right here. The power is in this room. It's your network. It's your health library. So one question we used to ask researchers when we traveled around doing site visits, not what is your wish list, what are all the things you want to have, but what is the problem you're having? What are you trying to do now that you can't do? And so we would work very hard to make sure that they were able to get the tools they needed to do their work. And I also would urge what we call South-South communication. As I said earlier, a lot of the researchers would first write to their funders or to their faculty in other parts of the world, when the connection that needs to be made is South-South. Some of you might have heard or seen me use these slides that have big arrows on them. And they're basically three paradigms of development. The first one is colonial, and all the arrows are going down. That means, somebody comes from the US and says, okay, you guys go out in the field and do this collection for me, and then takes that information away, publishes it, and the people back where that research was done never see the results of it. And you are a key intervention in helping make that research come back and serve the people. The second paradigm is the NGO paradigm, which is well-intended, but often the arrows are going all over the place. It's confused, and there's not a targeted purpose. And the third, and I think, in my opinion, the most successful paradigm when it happens, is a collegial one where the arrows are coming together and you're really working with each other, all of us working with one another, no matter where we come from. And that can be part of the South-South collaboration as well. So I offer those things to you, and I want to say, and this builds on something Mark said, there's a big man who said to me when he heard about this project, the repository project, he said, I've been in those libraries. There's just junk there. And it infuriated me and really spurred me to want to get that money so that you could make this happen. Because it's wrong, it's just so wrong. And of course, there's lots of junk in our libraries too, in the United States and the UK and everywhere else. No one has a perfect theses collection. Okay, so I just want to end with the words of a Kenyan researcher, probably 17 years ago. He was and is at KEMRI, which is a major research organization here in Kenya. And it's something that I find very useful, and it helps propel all of us forward. I was talking with him about before and after he got enhanced internet. He was one of the malaria researchers we worked with. And before I did an interview with him, and after he got connected, we did an interview. And it was an amazing interview. He said, my computer was connected because we had a network that goes to the main computer center. We had one computer to handle all the email. This was an open system. We had to dial out, hoping the telephone wire was working. We couldn't send big documents, couldn't go on the internet, couldn't use the library. The system was very slow, and anybody could read anybody's mail. It was a system that depended on honesty and integrity, but it worked. We appreciated it. We didn't have a dream that we would have a direct satellite link at Kisian. We had seen these things in Europe and in the US, but we had no clue it would ever arrive at this site. When it finally arrived, it was pure magic. I mean, I could log on to the National Library of Medicine, I could log on to the World Bank, WHO sites. It was so fast, so reliable. We could download huge files, send huge files. I mean, I was totally connected. I recently talked to my ex-professor, and he couldn't believe what I was doing. It was totally beyond his expectations, because he trained many Africans who go back to their countries good old traditional stories. Mail gets lost, can't get a reprint, can't do this, can't do that. Now I'm functioning as well as anyone in the world and Europe regarding communications. We are apart. We manage projects. Some are set in the UK, some are set in the US. We forward mail to each other. We plan and agree and disagree. It is not one man writing a letter, giving instructions. There's a difference here. It's a totally different way of communicating. So now we'll leave you to your deliberations. Know that for myself, I will still be working in Africa, and I will still be on projects, mostly with students. And I look forward to hearing about your triumph, and know that it will be. And you know, Mark said it so well. You're doing it. Please keep in touch.